to get you out here before the top of the hour, give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games. That's what we do here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Reserve our live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. To deliver those winners, our professional handicappers over at Big Dogs and Sports Chat Play. So let's take a peek at who's on the show with us today. All right, with us we got Damian Sosh with us. Zawacky signing in bottom of the hour. Damian Sosh. Today it's Tuesdays with Mitch and Wayne Scott. And here's how they'll line up for this evening. We've got Sosh. We've got Brownest late scratch, Briggs, Scott, Zawacky, and then I will close this one out. Full card from NJ Baseball. Check that because we do have a postponement. Cardinals and Royals will not play today, but we do have a single from WNBA, some Summer League as well. So let's get the show underway. Let's go to welcome in Mitch. You know where to find him here at Pick Dogs Premium. Catch him in the morning shows on as well as the weekends. We'll bring him in right now. We're ready to roll here with baseball coverage here with Mitch. Mitch, what's happening?
Nothing much, Tony. Just on Tuesday, because I won't be available tomorrow to do the show as normal, like I normally am on Wednesday. So I figured I would at least cover it today. And then I might not be around for a while because next week will be the All-Star break. And, so it'll probably be another week before you guys see me on a live, unless I do the first 5 innings live on one of the days that next Friday or a later day this week.
Right. All right, yeah, heading to the All-Star break here. And, of course, we'll take a look at this divisional matchup tonight. Yesterday was quite a game, back and forth, and the Twins. You had Twins run line. You really got a little. He got there to the White Sox bullpen late. Twins and White Sox here. Twins $1.49 on the road, total of 8.
Yep, the Twins going for 10 in a row here against the White Sox, and hitting those double digits against teams is extremely difficult, and it is a tall order. And I believe that the Twins last night had a much more favorable pitching matchup than they do today. With Eric Fede going, who's been pretty solid this season. He's not perfect, but he has shown to be able to be a gamer. And I think he's been, of these two pitchers that go tonight, as far as Bailey Ober and Fede, I think Fede has actually been the far more consistent of the two. When we look at Bailey Ober, he had that miserable first game of the season, and then we were kind of like, oh man, we're getting good value on him because he's pitched really well since then, and those 8 runs that he gave up in 3 innings or something, is really holding against him. But we saw him start to put it forward, and then he had a big regression. He's come out of the regression, but he's played the Oakland A's 3 times in a row, then the Seattle Mariners, who are the worst hitting team in baseball, and then the Detroit Tigers, who have been straight ass hitting the baseball as well. So before we get too excited about Bailey Ober, we need to look at exactly who they've been playing, because when they were playing the Pirates, the Yankees, the Royals, the Rangers, and the Guardians, he was getting his ass kicked all over the place. When we look at Eric Fede, for the White Sox, the KBO MVP of just a season ago, he's been consistent. And I think for starting pitchers, that's really one of the things that you look at. He's not going to come out and, no hit anybody, but at the same time, last time out on the road in Cleveland, gave up just 1 run and 3 hits through 6 innings of work. We look at the way that Fede is pitched, and he's gone 6-7 innings almost every single time out. And we're talking about just 1 or 2 runs in most of his outings. Yeah, he's had a few, where the Dodgers got him for 4, but that's over 6 innings of work on 5 hits. And he gave up 4 as well against the Brewers in Milwaukee. But other than that, not that much. Now, we know the Twins are hitting the cover off of the ball, but at the same time, the White Sox are not hitting all that badly either. And I just think, at a certain point, you draw a line in the sand and you say, putting together 10-game winning streaks and being favored by this gigantic margin on the road with Bailey Ober, who, I trust him about as far as I can throw him. It seems that, for me, the value here is on the White Sox. And you guys know for me, you don't buy Mitch's 3-pack and parlay him up. That's for sure. You're just looking for the value and to turn a profit betting the baseball picks. And that's how I've been all season long. It's how I've been the bulk of my handicapping career. I think the last 2 or 3 years prior to this, I'd kind of let it get away from me because of all of the extracurricular activities that you guys don't see, off the screen and, working on the site and all the other things that are involved in that. But this year I've really dialed in my handicapping as I promised I would. We saw it in college hoops and we've seen it here in baseball. And it doesn't mean winning every game. What it means is getting our money in good and finding value. And that's what we're doing here with the Chicago White Sox. So certainly not, a lock. It's not, anything like that. Oh, it's Mitch's lock. It's not Mitch's lock. I don't have locks. What I have is spots where I say, you know what? I'm getting my money in at a reasonable number here. And I certainly like my chances because I believe it is a 50-50 game, and we're getting our 1 1/3 times our money. So to me, that's getting my money in good.
All right. On the division dog here, White Sox here plus 133. Both starters yesterday, as you see Paddock and Flexen yesterday, both gave up just 2 earned runs. It was the bullpens that really gave up the runs. Gave up the runs yesterday.
Yeah, and the thing is that the White Sox bats have been so awful all season long, but they have really picked it up in recent weeks. Because you got to remember, Robert was out for a good portion of it. Also, the White Sox bullpen has been hideous the bulk of the season. A few weeks ago, we were saying, the White Sox were one of the best first 5 inning teams and one of the worst overall teams. But that kind of has sort of gone by the wayside now as the bullpen numbers are really picking up here for the White Sox as well. We look at, their bullpen over the last 10 games, and it has gone back up to 5.03. But, the starters are at 3.11. This is a far cry from where they started this season. Of course, the Twins are hammering the baseball. But I think the White Sox go with them. I really do.
Yeah, I'd like to ask you a question about this game. Interesting one here, Dodgers and Phillies. It's a couple of relievers handled that first place Milwaukee pretty well. But tonight we're going to see Schwarber. We're going to see Harper back in the lineup. How does that factor in when they come back from the injured list?
Yeah, I think the Phillies. I didn't hear you. I kind of cut off on me there, but I think in this game, I just think that while Zach Wheeler has had some tough luck, and I pointed that out for the last 6 years or so. I just think that generally we're used to seeing Wheeler up against the other team's number one, not a guy with a 6.75 ERA who's getting shelled left and right. It's just a different story, and Mookie Betts, with the broken hand, is certainly a big factor here for the Dodgers, especially on the road. They need all the help they can get with a pitcher like this going. When we look at this Phillies lineup, they've had their share of injuries as well in there. Realmuto's been out, and Bryce Harper's been out, and Bryce Harper returned today. Right. Well, Harper's back in the 3 spot. Realmuto is not starting. He's still out. Sheen is in, but he's played very well defensively behind the plate. So and Kyle Schwarber, of course, is back in. So Schwarber, Harper back in, up against a guy who's very hittable. You got Shohei Ohtani leading off for the Dodgers, but I like Mookie Betts. And I think you still have a very good lineup here with Ohtani, Freeman, Teoscar Hernandez, who's kind of outplayed the back of his baseball card this year. To me, he's always been more of a slugger type guy, not really like a guy who's been hitting the way he has this season. I expect him to regress to his normal numbers.
Yeah, there you go. And of course, I don't know if you just got this. Just came over about an hour ago. Hitting the injured list for the Dodgers, Tyler Glasnow, for 15 days. Well, with a back. I've said this since day one of the season. I will say it again. Tyler Glasnow is a mid-4 ERA pitcher, and when he gets to the 15th game that he starts every single season, either he gravitates towards that 4.87 ERA or he gets injured. And this year it's been both. So it's exactly what they are. There's one thing we know about the Tampa Bay Rays is that these guys are quiet killers when it comes to trading. They know how to sell high like no one's business. It's like if it comes time to pay a guy like this who really underperforms, his ERA, compared to his actual performance. Yeah, he has some he has some low years with ERAs, but in all of those years he pitches less than 15 games. All the other ones so he's either injured or he goes past the 15 games and he gets shelled. Meanwhile, I think they believe Pepio has a better upside. They basically traded Pepio for Glasnow. Yep, they sure did. And of course, on the injured list ran for the Dodgers, Glasnow, Yamamoto, Buehler, Kershaw, Dustin May, Gonsolin, Sheehan, Michael Grove. So it's a lot of guys from OKC coming in.
Yeah, it definitely is. The Dodgers pitching staff is a shell of what they were, and really this pitching staff anyway is just kind of a shell of what it's supposed to be, because the Dodgers' future was built around Trevor Bauer, and man, when he left, that really just when he got thrown out of the league, it was just a jolt to the whole thing. And it's like, it takes years to recover from that. That's like a Jamarcus Russell first-round draft pick. It takes years to recover when you've built a team around a player like that and they can't deliver for you. That's why that's why the Mets last year, were so bad, right? In the last few years, they had players that they paid all this money for and they were just injured the whole time.
This will be the last one I'll cover with you, Mitch. This is an interesting one here tonight as we've got Atlanta and Arizona. Gallen versus Sale here. Gallen back at second start, I believe, off that hamstring injury here. We saw the D-backs blow another save last night. Broke my heart there. But your thoughts here. Braves favored here short at the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, I think, the Diamondbacks can hit lefties. We've seen them do it all season long. Chris Sale, if you're going to get to him, you got to get him early. He's one of those guys. The Braves have actually not been that great on the road, and they're actually not, the Diamondbacks are actually the better hitting team of these two. So it's a little bit surprising, some of these numbers. Usually, when we saw the Braves win the World Series a couple of years ago, that happened after the All-Star break is when they made their big run. And the Diamondbacks, of course, last year, they made their run after the All-Star break. I think a lot of people would be surprised to even think that the Diamondbacks are just a game below 500. If they win last night, they're a game above, so it's like that's how good they've been. And, a couple weeks ago on the morning show, more than that, maybe 6 weeks ago, I predicted the San Diego Padres were a good World Series bet. Here they are. The season ended today. They're in. And I think that's a team. I think the Giants, the Padres, and the Rangers are really the teams to watch out for. Though we know Los Serpientes and the Dodgers, if they get healthy, are going to be a handful. But I just think that there's a lot more value on those other teams. Especially, I know Jay Briggs will get here and talk about the Texas Rangers, and I went off on my whole Bruce Bochy tribute on Saturday. But ever since I've gone on that, I don't think they've lost. Right? I think they've won every game since I did the Bruce Bochy Andrew Heaney tribute.
Merrill Kelly is now starting to throw off a mound, so he may be back soon. We know Eduardo Rodriguez is on this staff. He's been out. He's starting to throw off a mound as well, so we could see Rodriguez and Kelly back in this lineup in a few weeks.
Yeah, the Diamondbacks they're hanging in there, and they certainly have a chance. But I think when you look at it, there's only X amount of playoff spots, and if the Pirates decide that they want to go for it here this season, which I'm not so sure they're going to or not, they have a decision to make. It's going to make it even more interesting because the Phillies are leading the East, so the Braves would be one of the wild cards. The Cardinals are playing well, and then the Padres right now are sitting in 3 in the wild card, but right behind them, Los Serpientes, the Grimace, then the Giants, Pirates right there. So all those teams are right there, and the Reds actually not that far behind, but I wouldn't consider them a contender. I think the Nationals have decided to play for another year, and the Cubs, of course, really the biggest waste of everything. Craig Counsell, an embarrassment. He should be fired immediately.
Yep, and of course, media days are here, Mitch, for college football.
I'm excited. There's a lot of excitement around my Miami Hurricanes. They're recruiting like no one's business. They've built a better than an NFL offensive line there. So, plus, I believe they have the best quarterback in the country, at least one of the top 5. And I know that they have a little personal rivalry going on. Shedeur Sanders with our guy Cam.
Yeah, and of course, today it was the Big 12. Any thoughts here on this Big 12, how it's reformed over the last 2 years with all these teams? We saw some Mountain West, now we're seeing Pac-12 in there.
I know that the Big 12, I think, ended up being the big winner of realignment of it. I think that the Pac-12 USC and Oregon and UCLA all going to the Big 10. But who's the other team that won?
Washington.
Those 3.
Washington
all going to the Big 10. So they got some big players in there, but the thing is they're all going to have to play each other. So when it comes time for the playoffs, the Big 12 actually has a lot of heavy hitters in that conference as well, and I believe they were the big winners, even bigger than the SEC as well, getting Texas and Oklahoma. I think Texas and Oklahoma are probably going to end up being the big losers of that whole thing.
Yeah, because it's very competitive. That big, there are no. You can talk about Arizona State maybe, but Arizona, they lost their coach. Arizona State had some issues there, but man, there's really no weak link there in that Big 12 this year. Every game's going to be tough.
I mean, Florida State was offered the SEC many, many times, and they've always turned them down because the whole philosophy was we're not going to let them play in our stadium and recruit. We're not going to let that happen in our backyard. And I think I think Miami is the same way. they're not going to let that happen. And now that all those other teams have been invading, the state of Miami, Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties over the last decade or so, Mario Cristobal has now drawn that circle around Miami, Dade, and Broward, that wall around there. And players are going to get out, but not as many. And they are bringing in players from all over the country. And this Canes team is absolutely stacked. They won the transfer portal, getting the top 2 players out of the portal, the top running back, the top quarterback. They've also won the recruiting battle, getting 2 top 10 players in the ESPN top 300. And then this year's recruiting class, it's just another stampede of players headed towards Miami. Another Bishop Gorman player headed to Miami as well. We've had a lot of success over the years.
Yeah, they certainly did. And of course, all eyes here. I wanted to see what the Big 12 odds. Utah here sitting favorite in the Big 12 plus 320. Kansas State second plus 380. Then it drops all the way to Oklahoma State at plus 750.
Well, an open invitation to everybody out there. The kickoff classic, the one in Vegas in 2027 is Miami versus Utah.
Wow. Nice. The longest shot in the Big 12.
I will be there, so anyone else that wants to join me, you're more than welcome.
The longest shot to win the Big 12 title game, BYU. Big long shot, 12 to 1 there. So
they're never favored to do anything.
No, Houston even is a big long shot, 1100 here. So big dogs there.
I would think TCU would be long too.
TCU 1800 plus 1800. West Virginia 1800. Arizona 1000. Texas Tech 14. Iowa State at 10 to 1. Kansas is at 9 to 1. UCF 9 to 1. Oklahoma State 7.5 to 1. K-State plus 380. And Utah plus 320. I think this is something keeping out. Baylor at 6 to 1, at 60 to 1. Wow.
Yeah.
Colorado is at 30
I think
to 1.
Cincinnati, Central Florida,
80 to 1. 80 to 1 there to win the Big 12 title game. Some big odds there.
I'm ready for college football season.
Yeah, I'm ready, man.
I'm excited about, and also this year Miami plays in the kickoff classic game as well. They play in Orlando against Florida. Kick off this season.
A lot of excitement here. All right, Mitch here for the show. White Sox plus 133. All right, Mitch, let everybody know what's going on over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place right in the heat of the summer.
Yeah, coming up next week, we will have our release of our new websites. You'll see stats, matchup information that will blow your mind. And normally, I'm not one of these people that tries to build up the hype. I wait till we release and then I just tell everybody how cool it is after the fact and walk you through it in videos. But I'm going to tell you guys, just to get you ready. And I'm not saying, check it out and tell your neighbors or tell your friends, because you're going to do that after you see it. What you're going to see is I've been copied and imitated and all those things ever since I started on the internet. And one of the things that they've copied me on, is, it's in everything that we've done, including our YouTube channel here. And I think everybody knows that everyone thinks that they have the next Jay Briggs or Ron Romanelli or Chris Ruffalo or Tony T or whatever. They don't. It's clear, right? It's like they don't. That's why they have 1/10 of the views those guys have. But I got to say that our new betting tools and matchup information is the stuff that you pay for at other websites, and you're going to get it free at Pick Dogs starting next week. I think it's really, really exciting. I've spent over $1 million on the websites, and I think you guys are going to freak out when you see it. I think I want to give credit to all of our cappers, of course. I put in all the hard work at Pick Dogs. You see the guys, that are waiting to come on the show tonight patiently, as well as, all the video work that they do, all other live shows, including our weekend live shows. And you guys don't really even get to see, more than half the people that work for our company that never make a pick and aren't really even involved in the pick making part of the business. They don't do any of those things. They don't make a pick. They don't make a video. They don't really do anything. But what they've done is helped us grow as a company. You guys are going to get to see a lot of those things as we roll forward into the next, part of the year. And, like some of the stuff that we're doing with Tony's picks as well, who we're now officially partners with.
Absolutely, a partnership indeed. All right, Mitch, have yourself a great trip. We'll catch up with you soon.
Thanks, Tony.
You got it. Mitch here on the drive through. All right, let's continue here, guys. We got a chat pick of the day today. We're going to look at this one, Braves at D-backs. If you like the Braves, it is letter A, B for the D-backs, C for the over, D for the under. It is our chat pick of the day. Just put the pick into the chat room. You see the letter to put in there, and we'll keep track of them, and we will announce who the chat pick is at the end of the show. Let's see if we've got any coming in right now. We will in a little bit. Let's continue here on the drive. First one from Bo is on the Braves. So that's the first one in for today. All right, let's continue here on the drive-through. Up next, Damian Sosh. Catch him over at Pick Dodge. Damon, what's happening?
Hey, Tony. How we doing today?
Doing great. All right, here we go. Interesting matchup here with Mariners and Padres head-to-head. These teams used to play right when Interleague began. I think they were the designated rivalry teams because there really wasn't any teams around them they could patch them with. But Mariners, Padres here. Mariners $1.28, total of 8.
Yeah, both these teams coming off a day of rest yesterday. Neither of them played. But when I'm looking at this game, the Mariners do have a big starting pitching advantage. Logan Gilbert getting to start here for Seattle. He's a lone all-star representative for the Mariners, and deservedly so with how well he's pitched. He comes into this game, he's got a 2.91 ERA. And he's even been better on the road. His ERA when he hits the road is 2.75. Padres starter, rookie Adam Mazur. He hasn't had the same type of success, obviously, that Gilbert has enjoyed. Limited action, Mazur's 1-2, 7.52 ERA. Control has really been an issue. However, and Mitch even mentioned this just a few minutes ago, the Mariners are really struggling as a team here at the plate. They're a team that strikes out more than 10 times per game. They're hitting just 192 over the last 10 games. They've lost 6 of the last 8 games and 6 straight series. So the Mariners, things have not been going well for them. They've seen a 10-game lead in the NL West. It's been evaporating. It's now a 2-game lead here over the Houston Astros. I believe the Rangers are about 6 games back. So things are starting to get tight. And even though Gilbert might be the better pitcher here in this matchup, he's facing a Padres team that can really hit. They've got the second best team batting average of all of baseball at 263 over the last 10 games. The Padres are hitting even better at 284. When you take a look at this Mariners team, how do they do on the road? Well, they're just 19-25 on the road this season. And for as good as Gilbert is, he's just 4-4 in his road starts. So, taking a look at this game, the way both teams are trending, I'm going to take my chances here with the Padres in this one with some plus money.
Yeah, I have to agree there, no doubt about that. Padres here plus money. Again, it's not all about starting pitching, as we know, right? It's just a lot that goes into this.
Exactly.
Defense, also home plate, home umpire compatibility with the starter. Also, too, bullpen. And one thing about Seattle, their bullpen on the road near 5. And on the road, they're 6 games under 500. And they also sport a minus 25 run differential on the road.
Yeah, it's definitely a team, as I mentioned, 19-25 here in the road. They can't get it done on the road. And like I said, I don't know if they're starting to feel the tightness. I know the All-Star break's rolling around. It really probably couldn't hit at a better time here for Seattle because they're seeing that lead shrink quick. Astros are hot, Rangers are hot, and they're in trouble. They're in trouble right now. They got to start hitting that ball. They won't tonight.
Yeah, they won't.
Just not tonight.
Rangers got the Rangers have the Angels. They got kind of an easier opponent here. And, of course, Houston, and as Jay said, Houston and Texas will be getting up in the last series before the All-Star break. So one of those teams will emerge as a contender against Seattle because they'll be playing the series together. So a lot of excitement here in the West. Damon here on the Padres, plus 129 tonight, 9:40 Eastern time. All right, Damon, let's take a look over at Pick Dog for tonight's action. Of course, we got baseball on the board, big card from Major League Baseball, single from the WNBA. Jay, we have Damon having a great year in WNBA this year. What do you have going over at the site?
Yeah, I've got 3 plays in total going on over there tonight, Tony. My WNBA play you can pick up for just $19. I have my Major League Baseball X Factor and High Heat play. We've had 2 positive days back-to-back here in Major League Baseball, looking to build off of that. And like I always say, guys, the best way to go, best bang for your buck, pick up one of these long-term packages. My favorite package out there, team me up with one of these other great cappers, and we'll really crush the books together, guys.
That's right, guys. Get on board here with Damian Sosh over at Pick Dog. Great results that you see from Damian. No better time now to get on a long-term pass. That's the way to go. Use that promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save that 15% off. All right, Damon, as always, great having the show. Have a great evening, and we'll catch up with you again next week.
Thanks, Tony. Have a good night.
You as well. Damian Sosh here on the drive-thru. Let's continue here on the show, guys. Continue to keep an eye on that chat pick of the day. Tonight it is the Braves and the D-backs. You see the results there. You can type in letter A for the Braves, B for the D-backs, C over D under. It is the chat pick of the day. Pretty good pitching matchup tonight, and get those picks in right now. As right now it looks like we've got it 3-1 right now on the Diamondbacks. I believe. No, we got another one here on the D-backs. Now 4-1 on the Diamondbacks. We finally got it. We got it under the total. That one may be good too. They're under total of 7.5 there, says J-Man 45. Bo Dunn is on island right now on the Braves. Everybody else here on the D-backs. All right, let's continue here on the drive-through. Up next, it will be Jay Briggs. We'll cover more some AL West action tonight as we'll get back with his Rangers. They were good to us yesterday. If you had the Rangers against the Angels, we saw those bats here for these Rangers continue to be hot. It's out here in hot Southern California. Jay, what's happening?
Tony T, what's happening, my man? How you doing?
Doing great. All right, here we go tonight. Rangers and Angels again. We see the Rangers big favorites, total 8.5.
Short, sweet, simple. If it ain't broke, I ain't trying to fix it, man. I'm on my favorite team, and I'm laying the run line, man. Listen, this Rangers team is not a complicated team to figure out. When they win, they kick the crap out of teams. 15 of their last 17 wins have been on that run line. So, it's when I expect the Rangers to win, I usually lay a couple runs. Tonight, I'm thinking it might be something similar to last night, maybe a 7-2, 8-3 style ball game. Max Scherzer has been looking really solid since he's come back. I was at his last start. He did give up 3 runs in that one, but he gave up that 1 home run to Profar. But outside of that, it was just baseball. I thought he was solid in the game. The Rangers really just didn't give him any run support. I think he'll be solid here. Angels have been free falling. They desperately need the All-Star break as well. I think they caught the Rangers at the wrong time. Rangers in must-win mode. They got to win the games they're supposed to against bad opponents. I think they win this game comfortably. I'm laying the run line here with the Rangers, Tony.
Yeah, hard to argue that. I think the Angels need the off season is what they need. Honest with you, the way they look pretty brutal. They can't hit. There was some rumors here that Tyler Anderson, their left-hander, is on the market. He may be a piece they're going to move. He's having a pretty good season. The rumor was the Dodgers were after Tyler Anderson, but Artie didn't want to deal with the Dodgers. Again, that's just Southern California stuff coming out of SoCal. But it looks like Tyler Anderson, who's had a pretty good year, is going to be on the trading block here.
Not surprising, the Angels, man, outside of Mike Trout, everybody's pretty much on the trading deadline, on the block. They're just not playing winning baseball. I wish they would put Trout out there so we could finally see him in the playoffs somewhere, but looks like he's going to stay loyal. So it's the same old Angels. I love Ron Washington, former Texas Ranger manager, now the manager of the Angels. I think he's done okay with the cards he's been dealt this season. But the Angels, they haven't been taken seriously in, quite some time.
Yeah, quite some time. Even the last years of the Sosh era there was pretty rough to see too. They're just not hitting the baseball. But man, you look at the last 10 games, these Rangers hitting 286. Man, they've just been pounding the baseball.
Remember, they were the number 2 team last year in terms of offensive numbers. Pretty much number 2 all across the board, right behind Atlanta. That's really what propelled them to win the World Series last year. Now this year, they haven't been hitting the baseball. Now that's why they're around 500. But in this win streak, we've started to see, them return to their ways. And it's no surprise that they've been winning the games in the style manner they have. If they can heat up, they can possibly catch that division and see if they can, go on a run and defend their World Series title.
Well, you got Scherzer back, and of course we talked about this yesterday. Eovaldi, Scherzer, and Gray, a pretty good 1-2-3. You're going to get some contributions from Lorenzen and Heaney. I think Lorenzen goes tomorrow, but looking to come back. They're hoping to get. Looking here, guys that are on the list. We talked about Mahle. He's going to get his second rehab. So I like Mahle when he's with the Reds. He's someone that got my attention. He's somebody who's in his rehab right now, getting a rehab start in the minors. Look for him after the All-Star break. And, of course, the situation here, injury as well here through Jacob deGrom. I think they're just being very careful with him. They're hoping the word on deGrom sometime in the second half of the season.
Yeah, last time I heard, I think it was late August for deGrom. But, if the Rangers can do what they do and get back into things, I think this division's going to come down to the last week of the season just like it did last year. The Mariners, they're not hitting the baseball. The Astros, they're hot, but they're hanging around 500 right now. It's going to be a battle, man. And if deGrom can come back at that time and get right, he may just be the missing piece the Rangers need to propel them to go and defend that title again.
Yeah, Rangers win. They go to 44-48, and they get the Angels again. You're looking at 45-48, and heading in against series against Houston, you get you're near the 500 mark. That sets a pretty good run there to get a playoff berth.
Yeah, and with the way the Mariners are playing, and with that series with the Astros, they could find themselves like a couple games back of the Mariners for the entire division. right here before the All-Star break. So you never know, man. And coming out of it, they could possibly take the lead fairly quickly. So a lot of baseball left in this baseball season, but I think it's fairly interesting. Baseball, I would say, is fairly wide open right now with the Yankees kind of regressing. The Dodgers have been banged up. Phillies have been banged up. The Braves haven't been quite the same team that many people thought they would be this season. I think this season, more so than in years past, it's wide open here in Major League Baseball.
We do have a rain out here. Unfortunately, we just got late news here. The Twins and White Sox have been postponed because that was the big Mitch test. So 2 postponements now. Kansas City and St. Louis and Minnesota and the White Sox have been postponed. There is rain in the forecast in Cincinnati and Colorado, 79% chance. We'll keep an eye on that one. That one may start in a delay, but no official word yet. But we do have our second postponement here. It will be Minnesota and Chicago has been postponed. So we'll keep an eye on the schedule moving forward here. So Jay on the Rangers run line in this one tonight. All right, Jay, let's take a look over at Pick.Print for nice action. Of course, the action on the board here from Major League Baseball. We got a single from the W. We got some Summer League as well. Keep an eye on it. We saw our man Edie on the court dominating against these low-level NBA players. It's a lot different in the Summer League. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Money Making Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. I got one play for sale for y'all tonight. My favorite play on the diamond. My $19 Major League Baseball play of the day. You guys can scoop that up, man. Looking to bounce back. I did drop it last night. Had the Rockies. They just didn't have it last night. Cincinnati got right. But loving tonight's play, man. Scoop it up and let's continue to kick the crap out of the books or hop on something long-term. We're in the dog days of summer, but still tons of value, plenty of money to be made, and I'm going to help you do exactly that.
That's right, guys. Get on board here with Jay Briggs over at Pick.Print. We see the great results for Jay for the year. No better time now to get on board the long-term pass, 1-year pass. Remember, that covers the regular baseball season, postseason, the entire NBA, NHL, NFL, college football season there with that 1-year pass. As I said, we are now hitting the media days in college football. It was funny to see today the Big 12, Jay, with no Texas or Oklahoma mentioned whatsoever.
Oh. Yeah, I know. That was kind of crazy to not see neither one of them there. I think the biggest news coming out of that was Oklahoma State's, coach talking about his player that's going through what he's going through. But, yeah, the Big 12, I think, is going to be an interesting conference this season. It's one I'm definitely going to be keeping my eyes on. It's always been my favorite conference in college football. So just because Oklahoma and Texas left, I don't know if I'm necessarily going to just jump to the SEC. I might still do the Big 12.
We still the heart lays in the Big 12 because you get used to the other teams. It's not only you're a Texas fan, but you got to know these other teams in the conference.
Correct. And there's a handful of Texas teams in the Big 12, so I love it. I love the Big 12.
Yeah, I was mentioning some of these numbers here when we looked at the Big 12 here, and some of the long odds to win the conference title, which I thought was like, wow, there was some big numbers here on some of these teams. I know Utah's favored based on reputation, right? That they've had a pretty good run in the Pac-12, about 3-1. Kansas State about 4-1. Look at these long shots: BYU 120-1, Houston 110-1. Cincinnati 80-1. We know ASU's no good, but Baylor at 60-1.
Baylor 60-1 sounds appetizing. What's Colorado?
Colorado 30-1.
Y'all know I hitched my train to that wagon last year.
It worked for a few games.
12?
TCU 18-1.
Hey, man. The winner of this gets an automatic bid into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Hey, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be an interesting season. It's probably gonna be one of the best college football seasons we've seen in recent memory. So I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Yeah, Oklahoma State 7.5-1, UCF 9-1, Kansas 9-1, Iowa State 10-1, Arizona Wildcats. I don't see where they get this 10-1. The coach left. I don't know if they can replicate what they did in the Pac-12. Texas Tech 14-1. They've had some troubles. Just doesn't seem to work for them. West Virginia 18-1. Some long shots as you get deeper into the conference, but it looks like Utah and Kansas State, a 2-team race there in the Big 12.
Two I like just for the long shots: Colorado and Texas Tech. I think keep your eyes on them too in the Big 12.
SEC title game winner, since it involves Jay's team and from Texas. Georgia favored at 2-1 to be the SEC championship winner. Longhorns 3+320, about 3-1. And we've got Ole Miss 6-1. Alabama drops to 8-1. A&M, a team you hate, 15-1. And Oklahoma 40-1. Welcome.
I think it's Georgia's to lose, in all honesty. I'm a little nervous about Texas, with the new schedule. You know what I mean? Bama, you can't never count them out, but they're probably going to take a step back, no Saban. Again, it's probably Georgia's to lose, and then my second would be Texas. Because I think Texas roster, and they bring back a lot of guys.
Yeah.
So, Texas is going to be really good. It's just, can they overcome this first-year tough schedule of the SEC?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, obviously Vanderbilt's the one you hope. Vanderbilt's always the one the easier one. And there's no reason why they're about 1,000-1 right now to win it. It should be higher than that because it'll never happen in our lifetime. But Ole Miss, they're 6-1. Kiffin, we'll see if he can ever get it. He talks a lot, makes a lot of noise, but when it comes to the big games, they just always seem to fall short.
Yeah, they do. I was kind of buying some of that Ole Miss Kool-Aid last year, and I might be, drinking a little bit of it this year. We'll see. We'll see if they can put the pieces together. I like the direction Kiffin has them going in. We'll see if he can get them over the mountaintop.
Yep, that's in there. LSU will be 10-1. Tennessee 14. Missouri 14. There you go. With the SEC, because we got some Big 12 in there. There's a lot of college football. But I thought we'd just tease you with it a little bit. As we're getting right now the what do you call these? The press conferences of these the media days right now in the college football. So all the media there talking to the coaches and getting everybody juiced up for the season as they're getting ready to get into their practice sessions here in the summer. All right, Jay, as always, great having you show. Continue the great success, and we'll catch up with you again on Thursday.
Yes, sir, Tony T. I appreciate you, my man, and I'll see you on Thursday.
Yeah, Jay Briggs here on The Drive. We catch him on the morning shows here on, and also WNBA, as he has his WNBA series with Chris. All right, let's continue here on The Drive. Keep an eye on this chat pick a day. It will be Braves and Diamondbacks. You see the letters there. Put them in and cast your vote right now. It looks like it's all on the side of the Diamondbacks, 4-1 right now, 1 over 1 under here. We do see Bo Dunn liking Kansas there. We got another pick in there on the from the Big 12, which looks to be a very competitive conference. Maybe one that you may want to look for an underdog there. April coming in here with the Braves here in that one. Just a note here, guys, we do have 2 games that are rained out. The White Sox Twins are rained out, as is the Cardinals and the Royals. All right, let's continue here on the drive-through. Up next will be our man Wayne Scott. Catch him over at Pick Spring. We'll bring Wayne in right now as he'll be ready to roll with some Major League Baseball here on the docket. Let's get him in here in just a second here. I think we're ready to go here with Wayne. Wayne, what's happening? Wayne, there, you're on mute there, Wayne. You're on mute. Let's see if we can get that corrected here. And
I got you. I say everything's solid with me. Tony T, how you living out there today?
I'm doing great out here in sunny Southern California. Enjoy the heat today, but we're going to the Major League Baseball here as the Nats will be out on the road to face the Mets here in about half an hour. We see the Mets at $1.36, a total of 8.
Yeah, Tony, in this NL East race, you couldn't tell me that 90 games in the season, the Nationals will only be 2 games behind the Mets, but they are. Mets have had their number. These teams have played already 7 times this season. Mets 5-2, but Nationals won the last 2. One of those was with Irving on the mound. This National team continues to get stronger, while this Mets team, although they have the name, although they have the prestige, they're in a bigger city, bigger market, they still continue to play 50-50 ball for the most part, while the Nationals just continue to slowly get better, slowly get stronger. In recent play, both of these teams are 4-6 in their last 10. These teams had just met up in a 4-game series and split that series. Both of these teams are coming off a loss, and off a loss, Nationals have been winning 54%, while the Mets off a loss have been winning at 57%. Slight edge on the Nationals there. National has been a strong team against the division, 16-12 against the division. That's winning at a 57% clip, while Mets only 13-12 against the division at a 52% clip. Nationals have the edge there. National, as a away dogs, have been strong, winning at a 45% clip. On the other side of that, Mets as a home favorite, 12-15, 44% clip. Makes me tough to lay juice with the Mets here. Jake Irvin on the mound, 4-1 in his last 5, 1.4 ERA, but in his last 3, 0.9 ERA, giving up 0 runs to the Mets, 1 run to the Rays, 1 run to Colorado. 5-1 in his away games. His away splits, 2.0 ERA. This is Irvin's spot right here. In these away games, he likes to show up against teams that people in their mind think are better than the Nationals. And Jake Irvin comes, he wheels and deals against these teams. On the other side, Katana. Can't slight Katana. 4-1, 1 ERA in his last 5, but his night splits is what scared me. He's 0-4 in night games, and he has a 4.7 ERA in his home games and a 6 ERA in his night games. That's just for me to lay juice. I don't like to see stuff like that coming out of your starting pitcher. When we go to the bullpen, on the season, these bullpens are even, but as in recent play, the Mets bullpen is getting crushed. In their last 5, 11 ERA, and in their last 10, a 9 ERA. And Nationals last 10, a 5 ERA, and they've even dropped that even better to their last 5, having a 4 ERA. So Nationals have the advantage in my books to the bullpen. When it comes to the bats, Nationals going against a left-handed pitcher in Katana, 231 on the season, 209 away. But they've stepped their bats up against left-handed pitcher in their last 5 and their last 10, batting 250. On the other side, Mets about the same way, going against right-handed pitchers, 238, not the strongest, 212 in their home games, not the strongest. But like I said, the Nats have stepped it up in their last 10-5 against left-handed pitching. The Mets are hitting even worse than on the season in their last 5 to 10, hitting 191 against right-handed pitchers in their last 5. And 185 in their last 10. I can't lay no juice with the Mets here. Give me the Nationals in a plus money spot to get the win here.
All right, Wayne here on the Nationals, the underdog tonight here against the Mets here. Yeah, the Mets have really gotten cold with the bats, right? They were really hot. They went through that really streak, but all that hotness has really cooled off for New York at the plate and pitching mound.
Most definitely against right-handed pitchers, and sometimes I can look away from that. But when you got a pitcher that's pitching as well as Irvin has on the road, it's hard for me to ignore that and lay juice with you. So Mets, not the strongest home team. I didn't mention that. Just 21-25 on the season. Nationals actually a better road team, and when you're getting numbers like this, you can see why Nationals are a plus money team when it comes to the unit department, and the Mets are not. So we're gonna ride that, and we're gonna ride with the Nationals in the spot.
There you go from Wayne. Okay, Wayne. Anything from the WNBA? I'm sorry, anything from the NBA? We have 4 games from the summer. One to start in about 10 minutes.
I didn't get to really check the lines. I'm more interested in the Vegas tournament. I'm definitely going to watch it, but no money laying on there, so I didn't deep dive in it. Like I said, I've been looking at this Vegas tournament that starts Friday, waiting for the lines to pop out. I have took a look at the Olympics. Germany plus 3,000, Australia plus 4,000, and Serbia plus 1,400. There's teams that I'm liking based off the number off gate. I haven't put no money on that yet, but when I do, I'll be the first to come on here and tell you guys. USA minus 500. Just can't look that way. Just not my betting style. Even if I think they're gonna win, I would just watch it. But some of the long shots, I just gave you 3 long shots that I'm looking at early. I don't see how Germany won it last year and bringing back everybody and adding some younger players. Be plus 3,000, Australia plus 4,000, and Serbia plus 1,400. I know a lot of people are going to look at France and Canada, but I think Serbia, the way they played, if Jokic plays at 14 plus 1,400, that's a sneaky team right there.
There you go. From Wayne, knows his international and Olympic basketball. He hit a huge underdog last year with Germany in the tournaments last year, so he is on it. He knows his hoops. For the show, especially the summer hoops here, Summer League Vegas, he keeps an eye on, as well as the international. Nationals here for the show pick. All right, Wayne, what's going on over at Pick Dog Premium tonight? We've got baseball on the board, as well as a single from the W. A great baseball season this year for Wayne.
Yeah, they canceled one of my games. I really like the Royals tonight. Go ahead and say that, but it's canceled, so it doesn't even matter. But I still have my game of the day up there and a 3-pack up there for you guys. Really love this card today. Good value on this card. coming off a nice, easy play today, winning yesterday with the Reds Rockies under 9.5. I'm looking to continue to hit these play of the day. I'm feeling like I'm about to go on one of them runs. So you can hop over the site and grab my best bet, or you can hop on the site and grab my 3-pack. Always look to pair me up with one of these fabulous handicappers that you see on the show, and let us put some money in your pocket.
It's some money indeed here with Wayne Scott. You see the great results from Wayne. Over nearly 1,800 units of profit in baseball. No better time now to get on board with a long-term pass from Wayne. 30-day all sports pass. All of Wayne's premium plays for that time period select. When you go to his handicap page, make that purchase. Pick as a promo code to save that 15% off. All right, Wayne, as always, great having you show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, Tony T. I'm trying to look for an angle on a boxing match for you guys, too. So stay posted for that. Ennis, 147 fighter, a strong contender. A lot of people want to fight some of the top guys at 147. He has a worthy opponent this weekend. I'm just trying to find the best angle to give to you guys to get some plus money on that fight. So look forward to giving that out as well this week. See you guys tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Wayne Scott here on The Drive-Thru. Keep an eye on subscribe. All right, let's continue here on The Drive-Thru. Guys, keep an eye on that chat big day tonight. It is the Braves and the Diamondbacks. Type in the letter that you like, whether it's Braves, D-backs, or the total. Right now it is 4 on the side of the D-backs, 2 on the side of the Braves, a single on the over, a single on the under. Rod Zawacky up next. Time for more baseball coverage. We'll bring him in right now, catch him over at Pick.com. Good to us as well. And we'll get his opinion on this WNBA tonight. It's the Sparks will be in action, so we'll bring in Rod Zawacky, catch him over at Pick.com. Let's see if we get Rod in here in just a second. Rod, what's happening?
Yeah, not too much, Tony. Long day. Excited for tonight's baseball action. We've seen some underway already, and we also seen some cancellations, rainy in some cities. So those happen. It's the dog days of summer. We know storms come rolling through, and games get canceled at the whim. It happens.
It happens. It happens, and we're hitting near the start of the top of the hour. So let's get a word from Rod. What's going on over at the site?
Over at the site, we had a nice day yesterday. Looking to continue it here on Tuesday. You can school my 10-star play of the day. It's my top play on the board. We hit it yesterday, and 19 and 15, the last 34 on it. Also have my WNBA pick of the day as well. You can pick that up singly as well. Or it's Tuesday, so tackle the book Tuesday. You can scoop all the plays scooped up in single package. Or now's the time, grab something long term. We've been heating up. Started the week strong, heating up, and staying strong in July, putting money in your pocket. So, as all the cappers before me, take advantage of that 2-for-1 capper promotional. You can't go wrong with that deal. It's always nice to have 2 cappers putting money in your pocket. So, don't forget to use that promo code PICK at checkout as well.
All right, get on board. Rod Zawacky. You see the great results there from Rod. All right, Rod, let's get to the game here tonight. Marlins and Astros head-to-head. We see the Astros 225 total 8.5, but you'll be looking at this one a little differently.
Yeah, we're going to do what we did yesterday. We're going to go and find us a nice player prop in this game between the Marlins and the Astros. Ronald Blanco's getting the start for the Astros in this one. And on the other side of things, for the Marlins, we're getting a player that most of these Astros haven't seen a whole lot of in this one here going. Trevor Richards getting the start. But this Astros team's definitely been bashing the ball, as we've seen. They have definitely got off of that from their slow start and started to go in the right direction, especially here at home. I remember at the start of the season, they were awful at home, and they couldn't win a game, couldn't buy a win at home. Now they're back above 500, playing good, and that's thanks to a bunch of guys who have heated up, including Jose Altuve, who is back from getting plunked in that last series. He'll definitely be in the lineup here in this one. And the reason why the Astros have been heating up is because Altuve has been heating up. You look over his last 15 starts, he's got a 373 batting average, a 500 slug percentage, and been just knocking the snot out of the ball. 8 of the last 10 starts, he's hit 2 or more times in the game. If you look 10 of the last 15 starts, he's got 2+ or more hits. So take Jose Altuve over 1.5 hits tonight, plus 180. Let's get it. I think he has a big night tonight. After getting plunked, he's going to be mad.
That's right. Roger's not been a really good pitcher this year. He's had his issues, but of course, Altuve is returning to the lineup after that issue in the hand in that game. But Altuve, just a solid performer here. He's had a couple of hits. We had a pretty good week last week at the plate. Multiple hit games throughout much of the 4th of July weekend and in the previous week.
Yeah, you look all the way into July, the way he's been crushing the ball. His last 7 games, he's still at 367, 11 hits, 5 ribbies, a couple walks, and still just smashing the ball. Has been Altuve. You look at it. He's just been getting better. You go from his last 30 games, 344, last 15, 373, last 7, still smashing 360s. So we know he's going to get some hits. Yeah, I'd love him to get 2 tonight for sure. Nice plus 180 on that, almost double our money. I mean, it's better than trying to lay minus 225 or laying a run line and odds. No, can't do it. I think the Astros win this one big, but then you're chasing 2.5s. I don't want to do that. Too tough. Take Altuve, just like we did last night.
All right, Altuve says
sometimes they're good money as well.
Yep, sometimes they cash in. All right, Ron, well, look, keep an eye on this WNBA. 1 game on the board featuring the Lynx and the Sparks.
Yeah, and you look at this WNBA game that's on the board. A lot of players in this WA game that are injured. Collier is not going to start for the Lynx in this one, and many players on the sideline for the Sparks as well. So the way I'm leaning on this one, I like the under. I think we have a lower scoring one in our hands at 178. I think it's going to be tough to get the Sparks missing a few of their top players at scoring. No Collier for the Lynx, as I said. 158. I think I've seen this at 158 and a half before, so it's on the way down. Get the under 158 in this one tonight.
There you go. We got the under there. Ron's bonus play for you there. All right, Ron, we got you through the bonus. We got you always over at Pick Dogs Premium. It's always great having your show. Have yourself a great evening, and we'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
You as well, Tony. Have yourself a good one, Pick Dogs fan. Catch it. Crush the books. Let's get it. See you guys tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. We got to get ready for 5-game in WNBA card tomorrow. Rod Zawacky here on
Massive
the
WNBA
on the drive. We'll be ready to roll with it. All right. Let's continue here on the drive. Let's get to the recap, and then we'll let you roll, guys. Chat pick of the day. It's getting closer now, so let's keep an eye on that too, right? 4-3 here for the D-backs. If you like the Braves, it's A, B for the D-backs, C over, D under. We got 2 on the over and under. So it's tightening it up here. The chat pick of the day. Keep these picks coming in, and we will recap in a bit. Or you could also, if you already voted, you can also put in your show pick, and we'll announce that as well. Let's get to the recap. Mitch on Mitch. Nope, sorry. The White Sox were rained out. Damon likes the Padres. Jay on the Rangers run line. Wayne on the Nats. Rod here, Altuve over 1.5 hits plus 180. I'll be on the Athletics here plus 181. And the one I like the most, I'm going to go with Damian there on those Padres. I like the way the Padres hit the baseball. The Seattle bullpen on the road near an ERA of 5, and they're struggling at the plate, especially against the right-handers. I'll take the Padres here to get the money here at the plus price. All right, guys, as I told you, I do like the Athletics tonight in their game against the Boston Red Sox. There's a lot of opportunity here, as you see, as an underdog. Big price here on this. Big price is on that game. Let's get to it here. Here we go. Athletics plus 183. I'll be backing Estes in this one tonight. We've seen Oakland start to hit the ball a little better now of late. Let me see here what my notes were on this one. Estes here against Brian Bayo. Bayo's ERA, over 5 this year. He's put up a lot of base runners, a whip of 1.45. Been hurt by the home run as well has been Bayo this year. Boston over the past 10 hitting just 234. Again, we said Athletics have seen better run production of late. Their bullpen on the road respectable 3.71. The Red Sox have not been a good home favorite this year, losing about 6.3 units. Oakland is 5-5 behind Estes this season, nearly a plus 1.5 unit return. But again, the Boston bats a little cooled down a bit the past 10 games. We'll take Oakland here at that big plus price. All right, guys, check out Pick Dogs. We've got a best bet on the board as well as 3 packs. So get on board, or you get on board with my long-term pass. I have a 3, 7, or 30-day all sports pass. Get all my premium plays for the time you select. Period you select. When you go to my handicapper page, make that purchase. Remember the promo code Pick at checkout will save you that 15% off. All right, chat Pick a day. It's time to close it up here right now, guys. Braves and D-backs. And it has gotten close, but right now it is. We have a winner here. It will be the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks will be the chat pick of the day. Mr. Moneybags was the one who broke the tie, because it was very close between it. The Braves, D-backs, and we also had 2 over 2 unders there. So today's the chat pick day will be on the Diamondbacks. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the Drive-Thru, guys. Be sure you guys tune in again tomorrow live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring in our cappers from Pick Dogs and Sports Chat plays. We'll go to our plays for in real time ever. It always gets started with that morning show. We're live here at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time with Chris and Jay. Mitch will appear on period throughout the summer. Of course, first 5 inning shows, many professionals, roundtables with the professionals. Also, Chris and Jay together with the WNBA rundown. We've got also here all access with Big Al McMorty. Costi coming in with his picks, sharp train plays, contrarian play, sharp plays here from Brian Bittler. Ron O'Malley with his baseball breakdown and more, guys. So make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications. Be live with us to get the plays right away. All right, let's keep an eye on the show picks from you folks in the chat. Blake likes the Nats game under. Ron Crawford's show pick will be the Lynx with the 4. We have, let's see who else we have here. Ramon likes the Rangers run line with Jay. Blake likes the Padres game going under. Bo Dunn, Yankees, a money line from Bo Dunn. Manuel Garcia, look at like a 3-teamer, Brewers, Rangers, and Diamondbacks. Bo Dunn likes Kansas to win the Big 12 today. That's a big underdog price there with Kansas. Let's see here. Dodgers money line for Chavita Zamora. That's from Chavita Zamora. Dodgers run money line today against the Phillies. April likes Rod's pick tonight, which would be Jose Altuve over 1/2 hits plus 180 from April. And I think we've got all the picks in from everybody. All right, that'll do it, guys. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Let's bring in our cappers from tonight. Wait, good night, guys. You guys have a great night.